My wife chose her family over me after they demanded, "Make her choose us or you." She said, "I choose them." After I refused to give them my savings for a crypto investment, I replied, "Understood." Then I filed for divorce that evening and moved out while she was at their house. I'm writing this now because even though it's been months since that night, I still remember every detail, every look, every shift in the air like it's burned into my brain. My name is Ethan. I'm 35. And until a few months ago, I truly believe I had a stable marriage with my wife, Madison, who's 32. I honestly thought we were a team. I thought we shared the same values. But I didn't realize that her definition of family and loyalty was very different from mine until the day her entire family ambushed me in my own living room. I came home from work exhausted like usual, same routine, keys on the hook, shoes by the door, and before I even stepped fully inside, I saw them. Her parents, her brother, her sister, every single one of them sitting on my couch like they were waiting for a board meeting. Madison was standing beside the TV looking nervous, like she didn't want to be there, but also like she'd been coached on what to say. My stomach dropped before anyone even opened their mouth. Her dad, Richard, stood up first. "Ethan, we all want to have a talk," he said, "about the investment opportunity." The investment opportunity. I knew exactly what he meant. Her brother, Mason, had gotten into crypto about a year ago, made some money early, and suddenly decided he was basically a mix of Warren Buffett and a Silicon Valley prodigy. He'd been pushing this family investment pool for months. Everyone contributes. He manages it. We all reap the rewards. Her parents bought in. Her sister bought in. And the only obstacle left was me. The problem? I had savings, $92,000 my personal account, all of it saved before I even met Madison. This wasn't marital money. This wasn't ours. It was mine, the result of a decade of discipline, sacrifice, and saying no to vacations and impulse purchases. I had plans for it. Maybe a down payment on a house. Maybe a small business someday. Madison had told her brother the exact amount down to the dollar, which already felt like a betrayal I hadn't fully processed. "We think this is something the whole family should be part of," her mom, Patricia, said. Her voice was already edged with tension, like she was preparing to cry. "This is what families do. We build together." I didn't sit down. I didn't want to. "I've already said I'm not interested in investing in crypto," I replied. Mason rolled his eyes like I was a child refusing vegetables. "Dude, I made 22% returns this year," he said. "This isn't gambling. I know what I'm doing." "Good," I said. "Then keep doing it with your money." Madison stepped forward like she had rehearsed her line. "Babe, you're being unfair. This could help all of us." "My premarital savings aren't marital property," I said. "We agreed our accounts would stay separate." Patricia burst into tears on cue. "Why are you being so selfish? It's money. Your family needs you." "I support my wife," I said. "We split bills. We live within our means. That's supporting a family." But they weren't listening. It was like they had spent weeks scripting this moment, and no matter what I said, they were sticking to the script. Her sister, Layla, crossed her arms. "You're hoarding money instead of helping everyone. That's not what marriage is about." Her dad stepped closer, his voice rising. "So you're saying you don't trust us? You don't trust your wife." "I'm saying I'm not handing over my savings," I replied. That's when her dad looked at Madison and said it. "Sweetheart, I think you need to figure out what kind of man you're married to. He won't help his own family. Maybe you need to make a choice." Madison's eyes widened, darted between us, panic rising like she didn't expect this exact moment, even though she absolutely did. Mason added fuel. "Yeah, Maddie, he's basically saying he's not part of this family." Patricia started crying harder. Layla said something about unity again. And then her dad delivered the line that changed my entire life. "Us or him." The room fell silent. Madison looked at me, then at them, then back at me. "Can't you just do this for us?" she asked. "For me?" "No," I said. "It's my money. I earned it. I'm not gambling it on crypto." She stared at me a long time like she was waiting for me to cave. Then she turned back to her family and said the words I will never forget. "Then I choose them." Something inside me snapped. Not anger, not heartbreak, but clarity. Cold, decisive clarity. Okay, I said. Understood. I walked into the bedroom and closed the door behind me. I heard them whispering, Madison saying something like, "Wait, that's not what I meant." But I didn't stop. I sat on the bed, pulled out my phone, Googled divorce attorneys, and found one with 5 stars and a description that said she specialized in asset protection. I emailed her the subject line. My wife chose her family over me. Need dissolution immediately. She responded in under an hour. By the time I left the bedroom, I already had a phone consultation scheduled. They were all still in my living room. Everyone needs to leave now, I said. You don't tell us. Mason started. My apartment, I said. My name on the lease. Get out. Her dad tried the authoritative father tone. You need to calm down and think rationally. I am thinking rationally, I said. You force a choice. She made it. Now leave. They left. Madison stayed behind crying, saying she didn't mean it, saying she was pressured, saying she didn't know what else to say. But I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I didn't ask questions. I shut myself off completely. That night I talked to the attorney, filed the initial paperwork, and paid extra for expedited processing. Then I packed. For 3 days, while Madison stayed with her family, I moved out everything I owned, my furniture, my electronics, my clothes, everything. I left all her belongings untouched, took photos of the empty apartment for documentation, left my key on the counter and a note with my attorney's information. When Madison returned 3 days later, she walked into an empty apartment. And that is where the next chapter of hell began. The text started immediately. Where are you? Why is everything gone? What did you do? Call me now. I didn't respond. My attorney had told me no contact except through legal channels. Madison called from her mom's phone, blocked. Her sister's, blocked. Mason's number popped up next with a single message. Real mature, bro. Blocked. Over the next week, I found out through mutual friends that Madison had genuinely believed I was bluffing. She told her family I'd cool off, that I just needed time, that I wasn't actually leaving her. Her brother even posted some self-righteous monologue on Facebook about men who value money over family. It didn't name me, but it didn't need to. Everyone knew. Then the divorce papers were delivered. According to my attorney, they were blindsided. Madison thought I moved out to teach her a lesson, not to end our marriage. Her attorney reached out immediately asking for reconciliation, counseling, mediation, anything to avoid divorce. My attorney responded simply, my client is respecting the choice your client already made. During discovery, my attorney obtained text messages between Madison and her family. They had planned the ambush for weeks. They knew exactly how much money I had saved. They had strategized on how to pressure me, how to guilt-trip me, how to present a united front, so I'd feel overwhelmed and cave. Madison had been feeding them information about me like a spy. When my attorney saw the messages, she literally said, "This is gold." Madison's family pushed for reconciliation first. When that failed, they demanded spousal support, legal fees, possession of the apartment, access to joint accounts. My attorney countered with, no reconciliation. 50-50 split of marital assets only. Separate property untouched. She vacates the apartment. Each side pays their own legal fees. Then things got ugly. Her dad showed up at my work, past security, waiting for me in the parking lot. We need to talk, he said. No, we really don't. I said, you're destroying my daughter over nothing, he growled. Just drop this and be a man. She chose you, I said. Her words, her decision. She was emotional, he snapped. You forced her into it. You gave her the ultimatum. I replied. He tried to grab my arm. I stepped back. Don't touch me, I said. He kept yelling until I walked away. My attorney said, document everything. 2 days later, my landlord called. Someone filed a complaint saying I was subletting illegally and had damaged the unit. It was false. My landlord realized it was harassment and wrote an incident report. Then my bank contacted me. Someone had attempted to access my account with enough personal information to get close. I locked everything down. Mason posted another rant online about how I abandoned Madison and stole everything from the apartment and was financially abusing her. My brother saw it and immediately called me demanding answers. I told him everything. He said, "I'm commenting." I told him not to. Too late. He posted, "Funny how you forgot to mention that your family demanded $85,000 of his premarital savings for a crypto scheme, ambush him in his own home, and force your sister to choose between them and her husband. She chose you. He filed for divorce." That's the real story. The post blew up. Mason deleted it within an hour. Madison's sister DM'd me saying I was making things worse. Blocked. Eventually, my attorney filed for a restraining order. Evidence. Her dad at my work. The fake complaints of the landlord, the attempted bank access, the harassment, the social media smears. Judge approved a temporary restraining order. Madison's attorney filed a motion claiming she had been coerced into saying, "I choose them," and was suffering emotional distress due to my abandonment. My attorney laughed. We produced the text messages where Madison detailed my savings and coordinated the ambush. We produced the group chat messages from her family that were subpoenaed. Her attorney tried to withdraw the coercion claim. Too late. And then karma hit like a meteor. The crypto platform Mason invested in collapsed. Completely. Frozen accounts. Investigations launched. It was basically a Ponzi scheme. Madison's family lost everything. Richard lost most of his retirement savings. Patricia lost her inheritance money. Layla lost $5,000 and was furious. Mason lost $22,000 and his girlfriend dumped him because he took the money from their joint account without telling her. And my ex-wife? Living with her parents. Working full-time for the first time in years because she had no choice. The same family she chose over me was now turning on her. Patricia told someone at church. If she'd kept him around, we would have gotten out before the crash. The irony is unreal. After months of legal fighting, the divorce was finalized. 50-50 split of marital savings, only $14,000 total. So $7,000 each. No spousal support, no claim on my premarital savings, apartment stayed with me, and everyone paid their own legal fees. My attorney cost me about $9,000 total, worth every single penny. 6 months after everything ended, a handwritten letter arrived. 5 pages. Madison poured her heart out about how she regretted choosing her family, how she realized I'd been right, how the crypto crash destroyed them, how she wished she'd trusted me, how I was the best thing that ever happened to her, how she wanted another chance. She ended with her new number and, "Please call me." I read it quietly. Then I shredded it. Not out of anger. Not revenge. Just closure. She made her choice. I made mine. And life gave each of us exactly what we chose. Today my life is peaceful. I have a dog. I have a better job. Was promoted recently. My savings are intact, still growing. I'm dating again, someone who respects boundaries and doesn't have a family that treats me like an ATM. Last week, Richard even called my work line, violating the order, and left a voicemail. "I was wrong about you. You were right about the investment. My daughter made a mistake choosing us. If you consider reconciling, delete it instantly. They don't get to choose me now that they've lost everything. They don't get to rewrite history. They don't get to unmake the choice they forced on her and celebrated when it suited them. Some choices can't be undone. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need to ruin them. I just stepped back and let their own decisions do the work." Madison said, "I choose them." I said, "Understood." And I meant it. My life moved on. Theirs fell apart. And that's the end of it. The book is closed. The chapter is over. And I'm finally free.